So now you say that he must provide landed property in order to meet bail conditions.
Every lawyer is telling me, look, they want you to come at 3 o'clock and then they will detain you, they may arrest you, they will say go and bring this, they will say bail. And one lawyer told me that how much is the money involved in that? I said there's no money involved.
He then tells the officer that, oh, he just told you, I do not own any landed property in Ghana. You then go, the officers then go and comes back and says that, no, the bail conditions must be satisfied.
Alright, it's on Thursday, OSP, Office of the Special Prosecutor, invited Paul Adom-Otchere of Metro TV, say Omra at 3 o'clock p.m. Now Paul Adom-Otchere reply say, Ontiminko na onka onyan Monday, OSP enyan Monday, na so OSP insiste say, enekia neke Omra na okoye no ya detain no ni nyina ye say contract be between Ghana Airport Company Limited na Paul Adom-Otchere board chairman eno na sa contract ni between Ghana Airport Company Limited and private firm Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited SML omo proprietor ne dia sa contract between Ghana Airport Company Limited and XML and OSP hu ni say contract no omo award ma XML no secret deal bi ekoso den na SML nkwana ya award sa contract ni man no board no epne so say firm na SML proprietor ne dia no omo nkwana ye dis contract ni man no na contract no emu nsem no sikasem ne how no masiti no OSP hu ni say ase yidrimudie bi akoso eno na ma o invite Paul Adom-Otchere any 2 other persons Otchere Kwame Bafo wu a group executive Ghana Airport Company Limited and I bet Ajete Ajela also ye CEO of DevNest Systems. The Paul Adom-Otchere any who say Oko OSP office honoma Okoya ya chi no na ya granting the bill ya charge no about this deal ya make a semi.
I've just been asked to move away from the premises. So there's the police moving now. So there's the police, and then this second car actually is Paul Adom-Otchere's car. So he's in this car that is just moving away now. We're unable to tell where he's headed as we speak, but that's the situation here at the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Na bail condition no omo che say onfa ne nsase mienu ho document mra Paul Adom-Otchere che say oni asase bia wo Ghana che say oni document bia wo Ghana eno nti eno aka ho na che say Paul Adom-Otchere ye detain no a woni 2 others na che say omo bail condition no ontimi miti ye na yentie. Good evening Ghana. Pa one Paul Adom-Otchere ekoye said ye si course wo honom ne wi ne etie Paul Adom-Otchere che say ono sikasem no kra no onim sikasem contract na enye ne signature che say ono manasa azuri and the friend no a che say o man hu say bibisa ekoso a OSP no etusa na mo no mayo maju say o mbe detain no enti eno na akoso no yentie de one ne ko ani.
So as you are aware, we were invited, or the hosts Paul Adom-Otchere was invited to the offices of the Special Prosecutor around Ridge, number 6 Haile Selassie Avenue, to come for questioning in relation to what was termed as corruption or corruption-related offences. No problem. Nothing is wrong with that. In fact, it is good because these are the things that help build a democracy. That when things go wrong in society, or when there are allegations that things have gone wrong in society, law enforcement agencies make sure that the right thing is done and the right person is nabbed. Granted, that aside. So the lawyers for Paul Adom-Otchere write to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and tell him that Thursday, which is today, would be unavailable. It will be relatively difficult for them to attend court, to attend the meeting or investigation, the inquisition, whatever, however you may refer to it, on a Thursday. And so, if possible, it should be shifted to Monday at 3 p.m. and then they would attend. It would interest you to note that less than an hour after the letter was dispatched to the offices of the OSP, the office lawyer, whoever, director of asset recovery management, wrote back and said that no, he must attend on Thursday, which is quite interesting because at any point in time, people are able to attend investigations. They tell the police, and we do it all the time. Police invite someone for investigations. Come and answer these questions. The person says that, oh, I have a funeral at Kwewu. Give me time and I'll come. And these are long-standing institutions. The police service has existed before independence. Yet these are the practices and procedures they follow. You say, no, he must come today. No problem. Granted. He comes today. You place him under arrest for corruption and corruption-related activities, conflict of interest, and breach of the public procurement laws. No problem. You conduct an interrogation into the activities, which quite frankly, even got at a point in time, got confrontational. But that's also aside. Now, at the end of everything, you then give him a form and you tell him that, oh, on this form, fill it. He fills, his name, the name of his mother, the name of his father, the name of his children, the name of his spouse, all the details around him or about him. But in one section of the document, it is written there that he should declare landed properties he has. Properties in Ghana he has. He should write it there. The man says, well, I don't have any properties in Ghana. And so he says, NA, non-applicable. No problem. So there's a hearty conversation, cordial. We are discussing. In fact, some of the officers start telling that, if that's the case, you may have to start coming once every week, discussing what is going to happen subsequently. And Paul was open to it because he's here. Everybody knows where he stays. In fact, he has been open about his residence, that he stays somewhere at Teshi. Everybody knows this edifice. This is not somebody who is going to run away. No problem. That is granted. So they take this paper, this form, this sheet, go inside, and then come back. And in coming back, tell us or say that these are the bail conditions. 2 landed properties. When we say landed properties, land or house, 2 of them in the name of the accused. When this person had just told you that he doesn't have any property in his name. So now you say that he must provide landed property in order to meet bail conditions. And then there's also another bail condition of 2 persons, 1 public officer, not less than the rank of a principal officer. No problem, he's ready to satisfy the bail conditions. So we make the discussion that, he then tells the officer that, he just told you, I do not own any landed property in Ghana. So if I do not own any landed property anywhere, I don't have land anywhere in my name, I don't own anything like that. So how far now? Let's talk about it and see if the bail conditions can be reviewed. You then go, the officers then go, it comes back and says that, no, the bail conditions must be satisfied. So I ask the question that's here, and let us all answer it. Assuming your brother is arrested and goes before the police station, the police service, and the police tell him that he must bring his land documents, he must have land, he must bring his land documents, and he says he doesn't have any. Is it justified for him to be behind bars? Is that the basis? You see, the rationale behind bail conditions in Ghana, and why every time, for those of you who have had problem with the law before, is that why every time we will say that go and bring another person's documents is that you may not be rich, but you may know someone in your church who has land. So assuming I'm arrested, I may know someone in my church. I attend Divine Mercy Catholic Church at East Legon, Oponglo. I may have someone there I'll say that, this is the problem that has happened. So, Father, I beg, look around and see anybody who has landed property. Even murder cases that we've done, the High Court of Ghana grants bail and says that you bring two sureties, one to be justified, meaning one person must have landed property. It means that if someone is poor and does not have property or is not rich, the person is given the opportunity to bring somebody with metal or with wealth or opportunity or who has the means to stand as surety for the person who is accused. But if you tell somebody who is accused, who you have the power to throw behind bars, that he should bring land documents, he's told you that I have no land documents. I have no land. I have not purchased because the land even which he lives is in his mother's name. You say that that's the basis for which somebody has failed to meet bail conditions and so he should be thrown behind bars. Another accused person, also the same thing. He doesn't have landed property in his name, so he should be put behind bars. I mean, it's quite frankly bizarre. All jokes aside, it is quite frankly bizarre. And we cannot continue like this. And it may not be about liking or hating a person or what a person stands for. I don't like everybody. Not everybody will like me. But it doesn't mean that if something wrong is happening, we should keep quiet and jubilate or rejoice over it. Yes, if the person has committed wrong, no problem at all. Go through the appropriate legal remedies. Let these things follow due process, and let the law, practice. Let us see due fidelity to legal principles.
Inti po Adom-Otchere ti say OSP inviting on inchire mo de bae enanopa enonye.
So what is the story about? What is the whole brouhaha story about? So in his letter, in the letter of the OSP, he says that the original letter, he says that he's investigating some revenue assurance, something like that. Okay. In my interviews, I wondered why a board chairman is connected with something that has to do with procurement and all that, because under the Procurement Act, board chairman is not a part of it. The Procurement Act doesn't mention the board chairman anywhere. But anyway, this is Kisi Ajabi and the OSP, so no problem. All right. So he says he's investigating something related to revenue assurance audit service of a contract between some company, Evertex. At the board at the Ghana Airport Company, sometime around 2022, the Ghana Airport Company needed money. I mean, there was not enough money in the system, so they needed money. So the board invited the minister to sort of discuss the fees and charges, whether the minister could go through parliament and increase the fees and charges so that the Ghana Airport Company can make some revenue. The minister said no, he can't. Because of the post-COVID Ukraine war, it's difficult to go and tell Ghanaians to pay more. So the board should find ways of raising more money, especially non-aeronautical. These are documented in terms of the policy to raise money through non-aeronautical. It's documented. What is non-aeronautical? If you buy a ticket, I buy a ticket, the airport company gets some money. That's aeronautical. Non-aeronautical is whether they deal in some land or they give somebody space to sell meat pie, or somebody is doing something, or other things that we can do, especially at the cargo area, see how we can get more revenue. All that is documented. So so we were looking for people who can help us in different ways to raise non-aeronautical revenue for the airport, because we're not going to get the fees and charges, because the government policy is that you can't do fees and charges at this time post Russia-Ukraine war. So somebody contacted the board and said that, look, you guys are losing money at cargo, and I can do it. My company can do it. So we said, okay, come to the board and come and do a presentation, which is very normal, very, very normal. So they came to the board to do a presentation and said that this is what we know and this is how it works. The board told them that, yes, you have told us what it is, but there's no real evidence. You haven't given us any evidence that, in fact, we are losing money. And then they said that to do that, we have to work with your management to come and tell you, because we need access to your systems. When we get access to your systems, then we'll be able to tell you in the things that are the revenue that's happened already. So today is July. They will take last year's revenue and show you that this revenue that you got 1 million cedis, you could have gotten 3 million cedis. This revenue that you have 2 million cedis could have gotten 6 million cedis. So the management gave them that, and then they did that. And then the management brought them to the board the second time and said the people have finished their work, so let the board hear them. So the board heard them. And then they seem to know what they are talking about. They seem to show that, yes, revenue was lost and revenue can be gained. So the board told management that, okay, go ahead, which is also normal. The board tells the management, MD and your people, go ahead and work with them and report back to us. So they did, and they went to work with them. And then we continue our meetings. I had forgotten about it. I don't know anything about it. Then the management comes back that they finished with the people. They brought a proposal. It's a workable proposal, but it looks like the proposal, the people are saying that, well, I left something out. When the people said they wanted to do the audit, the original audit, we told them, and I in particular said it at the board meeting, that we can't pay any money. The Ghana Airport Company cannot pay you any money at all to do this work. You have to find your own money to do the audit and come and convince us that we need the service. So they said, okay, they'll do that. They'll pay their own money. This is also in letters that they wrote that there will be no financial commitment from the airport company. Till today, there's no financial commitment from the airport company, absolutely none. So they went to do the audit and came back, as I said, and then we were satisfied that they can do something. So management should continue to work with them. Management came back and said they brought a proposal and they are looking at it. However, what they are asking for in the proposal is that if they are commissioned to do the work, whatever money they gain for the Ghana Airport Company, on top of what we were getting already, they want 20%. So for instance, if they find that in the importation part of frozen food or something like that, airport was getting 1 million, but with their work, we now have 2 million, then there's 1 million that they have added to what the airport was getting, and they want 20% of that 1 million. So this was put before the board by the management, who dealt with them, the MD, who dealt with them on the documents. And then the board said, no, you can't have 20%. MD dropped them to 16%. So it was agreed. And then MD was told that, okay, go ahead and do the things you have to do. Those are due diligence, public procurement, and then get the document done. This was around November. So this is the last thing I heard about that process. Then December came, and then election came. And then soon after election, we were out. By January, we had resigned. All of us had resigned. I didn't know they had signed the contract. Some 10 days ago, Manasseh Azuri called me that he's investigating this matter. And that is, so when the OSP came, then all the lawyers were wondering, why are they working together? Manasseh Azuri is one of the people you've been talking about. Kisi Ajabe is one of the people you've been talking about. They seem to be working together for this, but I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Manasseh Azuri called me and said that what's the Evertex contract? I said, what is that? He said, Evertex, the people doing quality assurance. I said, the people who do the thing SML does. He said, yes. Then I said, I don't know about it. I don't know where it's gone to. Then it was Manasseh Azuri who told me that the contract had been signed by the managing director on 4th of December, 4 days or 3 days to election. And I said, well, okay, I don't know. I didn't know. This conversation is about 2 weeks ago. I didn't know whether the contract has been signed. I didn't find out whether the contract has been signed because it's not necessary. The board has finished its work. Whatever management does, if the management need the board again, they'll come back to the board. If there's a new board, management will come back to the new board and say, the old board did this is the problem we have, so resolve it. When the management is doing contracts, they are doing their PPA contracts under the law, they don't come to the board. They only come to the board when the threshold is beyond. So there are many contracts that the management does that the board doesn't know, they are not aware of. We don't have to be aware of it because the management is doing their work. But when they cross a threshold where the MD doesn't have capacity to approve this, then it comes to the board. So the board is merely there for approvals and also to initiate things that concern policy. So this is I didn't know that the contract had been signed. It was Manasseh Azuri who told me that the contract has been signed. Okay. So the contract was signed, and now the Kisi Ajabe and the OSP are calling people at the airport campaign. We've heard all kinds of things, telling them that did board chairman tell you to do this? Are you sure it's not board chairman who told you to do this? Very bizarre interviews that they've had over this matter. Everybody goes and they tell them, did you know the board chairman? Did the board chairman tell you to do that? And they come out telling their lawyers that, we don't understand. Why are they talking about board chairman? They've had conversations with the managing director. They've had conversations with most of the managers. They've seen the board minutes. Manasseh Azuri has seen the board minutes. Letters that have been written about this issue from the company to the management. It is Manasseh Azuri who tells me. And he sends me texts all the time. Those of you who saw me on YouTube, you heard me say that I've maybe sent him texts. Manasseh has sent me several questions. I've answered some. I'm still in the process of answering some. But now that the OSP seems to be looking at the same thing, then I'm assuming that perhaps they are working together, which is fine. There's no problem. They need to investigate. But public procurement matters have nothing to do with the board chairman. And I don't have any interest in any of the companies who came there. I don't know who they are. I don't know who is their friend, where they came from. But anyway, the OSP insists that we have to come there today at 3 o'clock. Every lawyer is telling me, look, they want you to come at 3 o'clock and then they will detain you. They may arrest you. They will say, go and bring this. They will say bail. And one lawyer told me that how much is the money involved in that? I said, there's no money involved. There's absolutely no money involved in it. There's no money at all involved. Airport has not paid a single money to anyone. Airport has not lost a single money. And the contract has been signed by the managing director. I asked Manasseh Azuri that, when you saw the contract, did you see my signature? Did I witness? He said, no. I said, but if the managing director has signed the contract, the managing director has signed so many contracts with so many people that the board will not know about because it is within her threshold and that of management to do. So that's why I told City FM and Joy, this is a pure witch hunt from Kisi Ajabe. But anyway, all I wanted viewers to know is that this is the story. And also Facebook people. So people want to know what happened. Kisi Ajabe says we cannot postpone it. We have to come to his office today. So we are going to his office today to see it, to listen to him and ask him these questions, and he will also ask us questions. Media people who want to cover it, you can come. I don't know whether it's allowed, public hearing is allowed. People have called me, can we come and cover it? What is going to happen? I don't know how they do the OSP work, but I'm going there with my lawyer and then we'll be there to answer the questions. I'll let you know what happens. Everybody is telling me though that Kisi wants to arrest you and keep you there for the weekend to teach you a lesson because you've been talking about him. You have gone to write RTI about him. You said that he has bulletproof cars and all of those things has hurt him. So he wants to come after you. Well, that's up to him. If that's what he uses the state authority for, it's entirely up to him. That's not my problem. I don't mind. I will continue to do my work, and to say anything wrong about whether it is Kisi Ajabe, whether it is X, Y, Z, W, V, we will have to say it, so long as we can provide the evidence for it. If it is his decision that because we have been talking about him, where there's no concern about board chairman, he will call people and ask them that, say that board chairman did this, say that board chairman, we want you to say that board chairman, we want you to say that, all that gamut of information that all the lawyers are telling me about. I don't know, the lawyers are telling me about it, that this is what is happening, because some of those lawyers have gone there with their clients and they say, tell me that they are saying, what did board chairman do? What did they tell us about this? Is the questions that the OSP wants to know. It's entirely up to you, Kisi Ajabe. It's entirely up to you. So 3 o'clock, we will be there, and then hopefully we'll be back, and then we'll report to you what happened. This is what we wanted to do, just to tell you, so that people don't have a blank mind and they don't understand what is happening. They think something really wrong has happened. Absolutely nothing wrong has happened.
Abusia, Adom-Otchere on demand service for and Eka say Adom-Otchere on demand for say o pese wo di dwuma bia nkankangana for amwo brochire a obe hia nipa didi so ya tilers anasa building constructors, fashion designers, chese auto mechanic bia o pese wo di say dwuma bia ma no obekọ ye app no so na wa download Adom-Otchere on demand service. Ayansa so obekọ www.Adom-Otchere on demand service eno so obekọ ko hu edwumadi edi nyina ni trimopo nyina no se ye boawo ema okokofo bi ana wudi dwuma bi a nipa a okokofa no esansa wunim na kira kwan bi anti no to bi kura nipa na gisika wie open here na hu no Adom-Otchere on demand for aba ama sa ha nyina afiri ho esansa obi bia ya de be ma so woni dwuma bi ama no ya ye background checks ehu se sa nipa yi onim ne wo ye enye kwanche trefa ni bia wonim de wo ye ene ye fa no edna ma wo na nigisamba ko omu ne se onipa bia ya de be ma wo a odi be di dwuma bia no sabe background no sem anase si ebu afaso pade a enya de besi na wanso san nim se sabe ko soja mumpo a ye wo military police ono so soja ni ochi soja ni eno me kire mu se eye Adom-Otchere on demand for no ye sanso supervisors a abre nyina no omko rounds check se adwuma na nipa no de beda ye no sa pepepe ene ye no na se Adom-Otchere on demand de omama adwuma no aye simple se bibi ni ena onte ase ampacho no wafa numbers no aye gusuo no no wafre